It's May 15. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning News. This is the first bulletin of the day right here on TV3 on New Day. This bulletin is coming to you live from the news app here at Adesawe Kanda. On Facebook, we're live on TV3 Ghana on DSTV's channel 279. My name is Josh Queening. Top of the stories is our Committee to probe petitions against suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu to begin hearing today. President Mahama rules out further sanctions against Gold Board CEO Sami Gyamfi after dollar gift apology. Also coming up this morning, National Security launches clampdown on foreign gold traders after 6 Indians arrested, says DCOP Abdul Osman Razak. Well, we have details of these stories and many more coming up in the next 20 minutes. If you spend your time with me, you can also get interactive with us. We're live on Facebook. It's TV3 Ghana and Land. To our very first story. The 5-member committee established by President Mahama to investigate 3 petitions filed against suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu is set to begin its hearing today, Thursday, May 15. The committee, chaired by Supreme Court Justice Gabriel Palman, was constituted in accordance with Article 146, Clause 6 of the Constitution, following consultation with the Council of State and a determination of a prima facie case against the Chief Justice. The committee, which will sit in camera, is scheduled to convene 3 times each week and will submit its recommendations to the President upon the conclusion of its work. And just to remind you, coming up on your screen are members of the committee. Like I rightly mentioned, it's a 6-member committee, and we'll bring you that list in our subsequent bulletins. And so we have the list on your screens right now. And so these are the 6 members of the committee. We have Justice Gabriel Scott Palman, who is a chairman, and he is a justice of the Supreme Court. And another member is Justice Samuel Kofi Adibwe-Siedo, who is a justice of the Supreme Court as well. And another member is Daniel Yadumulevo. If you recall, he's a former Auditor General. And Major Flora Bazwanara Nalugu, who is with the Ghana Armed Forces, also a member. And Professor James Sefajisa, Associate Professor of the University of Ghana, also a member. And it's a 6-member committee who will be beginning hearing today. And in a move that sparks public debate and accountability by the Mahama government after the president decided not to take further actions against the Ghana Gold Board CEO Sami Gyamfi over a viral video where he was seen handing out some dollar notes to evangelist Patricia Etsiedu-Osiama. And the government communications minister and presidential spokesperson Phyllis Kwachiofosu says the president's decision complies with the code of conduct.
Considerations went into making the decision. The first thing that was considered was the matter at stake, the video in question, where Mr. Gyamfi was seen handing some money over to the lady. The second was the remedial steps that Mr. Gyamfi himself had taken, which was a prompt apology just hours after the matter broke. And then the third was the action taken by the Chief of Staff, who promptly summoned Mr. Gyamfi and cautioned him on behalf of the President. So having done that and taking into account the events that took place, it was thought that the apology and the caution were enough and that no further action should be taken on the matter. I do not agree with that view. You know, it is necessary to consider the factors. You see, giving someone money in and of itself is not an offense. I do not think that if I met you and I gave you money, which money was not intended to compromise you or induce you to engage in anything unlawful on my behalf, that necessarily in itself is an offense. But of course, we are a government that respects public sentiment. So sections of the Ghanaian public expressed disquiet about it. And therefore, it was necessary to look into it. Let me stress that that in itself does not necessarily bring any specific provision in the Code of Conduct that was launched. There's nowhere that it says that you cannot hand over some money to someone who beseeches you to do so. But some sections of the public took offense and commented widely on it. And therefore, the president said that it should be looked into. So you need to consider the act itself, its gravity, its effect on the nation and governance as a whole. And then also consider what has happened subsequently on the part of the person who was involved in the incident. And to the extent that he himself has shown a lot of contrition, he has expressed regret. He did so on his own volition without prompting. It was necessary not to escalate this beyond a certain point. All that was required in the view of the presidency was to caution him. And in fact, it is not only he who has been cautioned. The chief of staff has taken the opportunity to caution all other appointees to be mindful of their circumstance and act.
Felix Kwachofusu is the Minister of Government Communications. I'm sure you have a take on this very matter. What do you make of the presidency's decision not to take any further action against Sami Gyamfi following his apology? We are active on Facebook as TV3 Ghana. Engage us with your comments and opinions, and we surely read them and share them to the rest of the world. And now, an operation led by national security operatives has led to the arrest of some 6 Indian nationals trading illegally in gold, and 3 of them were arrested at Enyinem in the eastern region, and the other 3 at Ediambra in the Ashanti region. Addressing the press, National Security Coordinator DCOP Abdul Osman Razak said there is an ongoing operation to flush out foreign nationals from gold trading as per the country's new laws. 3 suspects were arrested in the Ashanti region before the enforcement of the Ghana Gold Board Act 2025 Act 1140. These individuals will be deported since the arrest occurred before the April 30 deadline for foreigners to exit Ghana's local gold trade. The second batch of 3 suspects was arrested in Enyinam after the new law took effect. Addressing the press, National Security Coordinator DCOP Abdul Osman Razak indicated that these individuals will face prosecution under the new law, which reserves local gold trading exclusively for the Gold Board.
Some of them we found out that the Indians use them to register companies, and they hide behind these Ghanaians to operate. And as I indicated in one of our press conference a couple of weeks ago, they do that to evade taxes and also hide their faces behind whatever that they are doing. And so the Ghanaians are also being dealt with in a way. But because the Indians or the foreigners are the main financiers of this activity, that's how come that we are, showing their faces. But of course, the Ghanaians too are being dealt with according to law.
Spokesperson for Gold Board, Prince Menka, stressed that the Ghana Gold Board Act strictly prohibits foreign nationals from participating in Ghana's local gold trade. While the first group was given leniency because their arrest preceded the deadline, the second group will face the full rigors of the law.
This is a game to also remind all Ghanaians that the application process for the various licenses that you need to acquire in order to be involved in the local gold trading market is ongoing. And remember that our deadline is the 21st of May. So the clock is ticking. You may want to speed up so that the laws of Ghana will not deal with you if you fall on the wrong side.
The Ghana Board Act 2025 was introduced to regulate gold trading and curb illegal exports. Foreigners were given until April 30 to exit the local gold market with strict penalties for violators. The 3 deportees, all Indian nationals, will be sent back to their country. The remaining 3 will be prosecuted with their confiscated assets held as evidence. Authorities have vowed to intensify surveillance to prevent further smuggling attempts. Away from security-related matters, let's delve into health, as management of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital have been encouraged to make the environment safer for patients. Health Minister Kwabena Minta-Kando, during a working visit to the hospital on Wednesday, bemoaned the poor maintenance culture at some health facilities across the country. Here's a report by Sarah Pankro.
What is this one? People are also here. What is this? HOD. No, but this is not safe. No, the patients are not here. But I can see some people inside here. No, but I see some more. So people are here.
Yes, about this place.
No, but it's not.
The minister was at the Kibu Teaching Hospital to inspect the maternity and surgical blocks following reports he had received about the poor state of the facility. The Kibu Teaching Hospital in recent times has been in the news for the wrong reasons regarding the deteriorating state of some facilities at the country's major referral center. The minister, in the company of some officials, inspected the wards, washrooms, broken down elevators and the general surrounding of some sections of the hospital, where he witnessed a number of disturbing gaps.
Is that the one I visited the last time?
Yes.
Is that the same one?
Yes.
And it's still not been fixed?
They've actually bought one. I just spoke to the director of medical.
Because I gave clear instructions.
They bought one, yet to arrive.
The minister, who did not mince words with the hospital management on his concerns, reiterated the need for proper maintenance culture within health facilities.
If you look at the structures, what it tells you is that we have a very, very poor maintenance culture. Some of these things have been abandoned for a very long time. We are all going to go back to see how we can do it.
He plans to meet with management of the facility to drum home the new policy direction for a lasting solution.
Now, we are going to develop new KPIs, new policy directions. Now, it is government's position that any medical equipment you use at the health facility, you have an exclusive account where you put the proceeds in that account. When the machine is obsolete or where you need to fix it, you go into the account and take money to fix it. I am not oblivious of the fact that public health facilities don't charge as much as private facilities. But I always tell them that the bird that lays the golden egg must not be killed.
Meanwhile, the management of the hospital is expected to hold a meeting to address the minister's concerns as soon as possible.
Well, the Health Minister, Kwabena Mintah-Kanu, has mentioned that he will not stop his unannounced visits, so he will be privy to some of these, situations, and will still be following up on these health issues and update you subsequently. Imagine working for nearly a year without receiving a single cedi of the allowance owed you. That is the painful reality for over 20,000 rotational nurses and midwives across the country. They are giving the authorities 14 working days ultimatum to act, or they will be forced to withdraw their services.
Frustrated, abandoned, and pushed to the brink, that is the emotional state of thousands of rotational nurses and midwives across Ghana. They have worked for nearly a year, many in tough and under-resourced conditions, yet they say the allowances they are owed have still not been paid, with repeated appeals to relevant authorities going unanswered.
We are engaging in online businesses and we have to attend to our customers, even as we are the wards. Why? Because that's where our source of income comes from. That's where we make our living. Some of us, the guys, engage in sports betting, even at the ward. In April 2024, we recall that Honorable Jojo Pariato, the youth organizer for the NDC, issued a presser to condemn this act. So when they came into office, we were expecting something better. But upon all our engagement, all efforts to reach them, it has proven futile. After 14 working days, if you don't receive our financial clearance, we are laying down our tools. We are not going to the wards anymore. We are staying in the house together with our junior colleagues who have just been posted.
Their cry is no longer about money, but about survival.
During this period, 5 of our colleagues have tragically passed away, and 6 others have been diagnosed with serious chronic illnesses.
The president for the Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association for the 2023-2024 cohort says this neglect has persisted for years.
This very issue we are talking about here today is not something that is just starting today. It has been here for about 4 years now, which we've been fighting against, because it's so disheartening to be working a whole year without your monthly allowance. And, during our time when we were fighting for this, there were assurances that the money should be paid before we finish our service. They promised us that they will work on it swiftly. But me personally, I received my allowance in December. And even December of last year, 2024, that was about 5 months after my rotation. And as I speak, some of my colleagues have still not received their allowances.
The situation is particularly dire for many female nurses who say the financial hardship has pushed them into desperate situations.
At times we have to borrow before we eat. We the ladies, we are really suffering. When a man proposes to you, even if you don't like that person, you have to still take it. Because you will get money to go to work. We are taking monies from people, borrowing, accepting all proposals of which we don't like it, but we are still doing it.
As the countdown begins, will authorities act before more lives are lost, or will silence continue to cost the nation its caregivers? Safwa Boyni, TV3 News, Accra.
And now, after 15 years, the Forestry Commission says it is ready to begin trading in timber and timber product under the fledged licensing agreement. And the fledged license is a confirmation that wood exported to the European Union meets all the legal and standards requirements and ensures Ghana is not shortchanged.
Ghana's wood products exports to the European Union have shown varying trends. In 2024, wood products exported to Europe were valued at 8.17 million euros, representing 21.24% decrease from the previous period. Europe and Asia are mainly Ghana's primary export destinations, accounting for 69.7% of total exports in the first quarter of 2024. To further improve its exports, the Forestry Commission says starting from June 30 this year, it would commence implementation of the flanked license, which among others is to ensure that wood exported are from a legal source.
The aim of this agreement is to ensure that timber and timber products that are leaving Ghana to the EU must be legally compliant. So that means all taxes that are supposed to be paid are paid. Our European counterpart will also be comfortable that the wood we have obtained is legally sustainable, and then it is not bringing destruction to our environment. So these are the things that we are doing to ensure that Ghana goes green, sustainable development, and then also the government is not shortchanged in terms of levies, royalties, and the like.
The flanked license is as a result of a voluntary partnership agreement between Ghana and the European Union. The agreement, which was signed in 2009 and has been ratified by Parliament, could not be implemented until now. Acting Executive Director of the Timber Industry Development Division at the Forestry Commission, Dr. Richard Jima, explained that they needed to put in place a system that would stand the test of time.
We had what we called system checks, because any agreement that you do, especially something that is bordering on internet, connectivity, electronics, you have to be careful and make sure that every aspect of the system is working, so that once you say you are going live, you are sure that all the screws, the knots have been taken. We had a few policy issues, but these things have been addressed.
Under the agreement, there is a list of wood products that are qualified to be exported, and they include lumber, plywood and engineer wood.
Well, in more news this morning, expect reduction in prices of goods and services within 60 days from now, following the rise of the cedi against other major trading currencies. The business community, in giving this assurance to the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, was quick to caution government not to backtrack on its austerity measures to sustain the stabilization of the local currency. It's an undeniable fact that the cedi has made some gains and appreciating against other major trading currencies. Data from the Bank of Ghana shows that the cedi strengthened from 15 cedis, 53 pesos to 13 cedis, 9 pesos per dollar on the buying rate between March 12 and May 12, 2025, while the selling rate improved from 15 cedis, 55 pesos to 13 cedis, 10 pesos. In relation to this, the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare, has met with business players on possible ways to have a corresponding relation on prices of goods and services. According to the sector minister, direct importers are ready to reduce prices for retailers. Take a listen to the minister.
Government has created an enabling environment for their businesses to thrive, and it is fair that they transfer part of the dividends to the customers, because we are all working together as a country so that the cost of living will reduce. I am happy that they have explained their bit to me and my team. We also explained ours to them, and this is the consensus. I think it is positive. Dialogue is the way to go in this kind of economic environment that we find ourselves.
In the next 60 days, expect to see reduction in the prices of goods and services, and this is the assurance given by the business community.
All that we need is for government to do its work, do whatever it is to sustain this, and by 2 months' time, everybody in the country will witness the fact that the business community also think about the consuming public.
We believe sincerely that within the period of 60 days from now, this impact will be translated onto the final price of our products that we wholesale and retail. We also strongly believe that in the midterm budget review, we will see further reflection and commitment from government.
If this trajectory continues this way, hopefully, prices of goods and services could be beaten down further. The ministry has also assured of continuous dialogue with the business community for mutual benefits. George Quenin, TV3 News, Ministries, Accra. Just like I wrapped up at the ministries, I'm also wrapping up here at the studios. And for more news updates, you want to log on to our website, it's 3news.com. Also follow us on Instagram, it's TV3.gh for all the latest updates. My name is George Quenin. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure coming your way. Good morning.